Hello, this will be a channel message for you, for your highest good, and I trust that it found you at the perfect time. I really appreciate you being here with me in this moment, and as always, I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And I'm here to tell you, you absolutely do not need to put so much pressure on yourself, because you're amazing. You got all the knowledge. More importantly, you've got the wisdom. You know how to use discernment when it comes to making the right decision. You know how to apply this knowledge. And what happens when you just show up and you just be yourself and you really relax into this process? I feel like magic happens when you do that. And it can be a little scary sometimes to let go. And we're all learning how to do this. We're all learning how to trust ourselves. But as you continue to embody this new version of yourself that has the skills, that has the know-how, that has the confidence, and has the ability to relax, just relax the nervous system, take a deep breath, start having fun with it, start turning it into a game. Not a game where there's a beginning and an end, but a game where you're just in the flow of it. You're just experiencing it. That's where the magic happens. I'm telling you. So just take the pressure off and watch how things happen for you. And watch how things happen through you. Because your body is a manifesting machine. And no one has a body like yours. It's unique. Nature doesn't repeat itself. And it doesn't make mistakes. You're here for a reason. And you're transforming in a big way. On a cellular level. I've been getting heavy downloads about the nervous system. The body. Like I was saying, what happens when you relax? Because I feel like you just completely unlock your true creative potential when you relax into the process. And just be really nice to yourself as some of these feelings come up, as some of this anxiety comes up, as you get used to this new feeling of being seen, being in the flow, letting go, not trying to control everything, not trying to control how you want to act. Just showing up as that spirit, that soul version of self that is working through your physical avatar. And magic in general has been coming up for me in a big way. Harry Potter everywhere. I'm telling you, I've been seeing the Harry Potter everywhere. Synchronicities every day, multiple times a day. I was driving yesterday, I drove past a car, the license plate said I love magic. Had that little love heart emoji. I love magic. I'm like, yo. I love magic too. And the only card I've pulled so far is this transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. So this is a new version of yourself that you're embodying. I totally get Queen of Wands vibes from this card. It kind of just looks, it's got all of those archetypal, it's got the desert in the background, it's got the little cat kind of action, and the Queen of Wands is the magician of the court cards, right? She can use her visualization, her imagination, her creativity, and it's her confidence and her ability to relax into that receptive, calm, confident energy. That's what allows the creativity to channel through. And I get the Three of Wands as I split the deck, along with the Two of Cups. You might be going somewhere. You might be in a relationship that is going somewhere. You might have met somebody and you might be like, this is really going somewhere. Oh, Knight of Swords. This is really going somewhere quick. This is moving pretty fast, actually. Am I okay with this? Because Five of Cups, I still feel like I need to let something go here. I feel like I'm going through this emotional transformation process where I am releasing, where I am feeling these layers of old energy, the old emotions, the old belief systems, the old definitions. I'm feeling this stuff melt away like wax. I'm seeing a candle here. And it's happening for you. It's unfolding in perfect timing, feminine timing. I'm getting the lotus flower now. And I feel like there's something about this situation, this relationship, this new opportunity is the word I'm getting, that is actually going to aid you in this healing process in a way, because it feels like it wants to take you. And there's a part of you that really wants to go with this. And if you just, again, relax into the process and trust that you are healing. You are healing in a big way, in perfect timing, exactly in the way that you need to be healing. And, use your discernment here, take it as it resonates. But I feel like many of you, if you're connecting with this reading, you're in the right place at the right time. You're safe to go through this healing process. And I think a lot of it comes back to the stories that we've been telling ourselves. Like, these beliefs, they're just words strung together. And we have our own emotional, projection is the term that I'm getting. We've assigned certain feelings to them. We've assigned certain expectations. When something happens, we have an expectation as to where that's going to lead and what the result is going to be. And I feel like you're just kind of letting go of this in favor of the 10 of Cups. Being in this full energy where you have limitless potential because you're letting go of the stories and the definitions is actually leading to some kind of long-term emotional fulfillment, wish fulfillment, the dream life, because you're learning how to be present. You're learning how to feel safe as yourself. You're learning how to feel familiar as this version of self that can let go with that flow, channel their creativity into something that really matters and something is uniquely yours, something that is uniquely yours. And this is where it's going. This is the 10 of Cups. All right, thank you very much for sharing this space with me. And I absolutely cannot wait to... No, I'm just kidding. We'll keep going. But, where do you sort of go from there? And you're thinking, well, 2 of Wands. I've got somewhere to go. I'm not there yet. So there's, I think there's a message about change here. I was reading the other day, if you are feeling a little bit impatient, right? A little bit in this. I mean, the 2 of Wands is not necessarily impatient, but it's fiery energy, right? So maybe with this Knight of Swords, 2 of Wands combo, it's oh, I gotta get here. I gotta be there now. But that's a sign that you have a relationship with change that kind of needs healing in a way. And the thing that I was reading was saying, if you're here in this room and you want to be in the next room, you got to get up and walk over there. It's a process. Change is something that needs to happen. And if you feel like you just need to be in the end result all the time and you're not comfortable where you are, try to examine your relationship with change. And not coming from a place of shame or putting yourself down or anything, but just get really curious about this. Start asking these questions. What is my relationship with change? 5 of Cups, number 5, change, letting go. How do I see myself? And do I see myself as somebody who can handle change? How do I deal with it? How do I feel emotionally when I'm going through a big change here? Because the change is here for you, is what I'm hearing. This process is here for you because it's about the journey. And I know that's a bit of a trope. You hear that a lot. And the destination is great. But when you go through the journey, when you go through the experience and you stay present through the experience, that's when you really learn on a granular level. And that's when your soul, your higher self, is jumping up and down with glee, because this is you learning the lesson that your soul came here to learn. Your soul didn't come here to go from this to this in a split second. Your soul came here to experience the in-between. And what happens when we take the pressure off? What happens when we change our mind and we change those stories and those definitions, right? And we let go of the old and we usher in a new mental paradigm, a new belief system that says change can be fun. Change can be a good experience. I'm very adept, right? 8 of Pentacles. I'm almost a master at change. And I love the 8 of Pentacles because it's very precise. And it's about being in that present moment and about, performing that repetitive action. And the change, here's the thing. Okay, so I'm getting a few things now. So when we are trying to get from A to B as quick as we can, but we know that there's change required, it can become overwhelming because there's lots of steps that we need to take sometimes. There's a lot of different actions and a lot of thinking or meditating on it, or that we need information. How are we going to get from A to B? What's it going to take? And it can become really overwhelming. And then sometimes we get paralyzed when we get overwhelmed. But what happens when we feel a lot more comfortable moving through this change at a good pace, and we have a story that says change is safe, I can move at my own speed, I don't need to rush, and I trust that I'm going where I need to go, and I trust that I have the skills to make it happen, and I'm just going to make that one small adjustment. And I was listening to Sarah Verber yesterday, shout out to Sarah Verber, one of the goats, one of the goats on YouTube. I have to give her a massive shout out, been listening to her for ages, and she was saying what happens when we just, when we need to send an email or something, and we just find the email address that we need to send the email to? Just take that first little step. What happens when we want to make a masterpiece, and we just make that sketch, that really rough sketch, just that first step? And there is so much power in just intentionally, slowly, or quickly, whatever feels good to you, but intentionally and mindfully just making that first step and making that change. And you can decide that this is how you operate. That's the thing. You have control in a way, because this can become your new story. You're healing your relationship with yourself. You're changing your story. You're changing your identity by consciously deciding that that's who you are and that's who you want to be. Do I want to read all these? There's 10 cards that came out. There might be a bit of a mind-blown kind of moment here. There might be a lot of downloads coming in for you. The one on the top is the 6 of Wands. So I'll just say that. This is a good thing that's happening here. And if there's too much information, it's okay to just sit on it. Just ponder it. Process it. 4 of Cups is just integration. Just sitting with it, and maybe not necessarily feeling like you're ready to reach for the next thing or strive for the next thing or bring something new into the equation. It's I don't necessarily want this next ingredient. I'm going to sit with what I've got. And it's not necessarily about the mind. It's not necessarily about the swords and the mental. It's about the feelings. Letting yourself process all of these emotions and all of this information, this subtle information that your nervous system is trying to integrate in a healthy way. Just sitting with that and pondering it as the Fool, without the story, without the labels and the definitions. So much of, and again, it comes back, what was the first thing I said in this reading? You don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. You can just exist. And being in that energy is going to create more and more trust in your relationship with life and the universe and your higher self. You're going to start to trust that being in the moment is okay. It's just safe to be in the moment. Show up as you are. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to meet some kind of standard that you've created for yourself because of some kind of story here. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. With the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's a bit of a repeat on that message I was saying about the nervous system. And, resting in this state of being and reflecting and just being in your own energy and allowing the seeds to grow. Like, you've planted good seeds here. This thing's all going to work itself out, and it's going to move in the way that you feel inspired to move it as you take the pressure off, relax, tap into your confidence, the trust in yourself, and that sense of self-acceptance, unconditional love, no matter how you're showing up. And we might be learning here to lower these boundaries in a way and let this flow take us, because everything is about balance. And I'm not saying don't enforce healthy boundaries. I'm not saying that at all. But we're kind of oscillating here between these two energies of, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to process what I have already. I'm not going to rush to get to the next thing. But if we move too far on that side of one of those spectrums, do we find that maybe we're defending ourselves in a way from where life wants to take us? I feel like there's a point of balance here in between these two energies. And it's all about, what I'm getting is, it's about your instincts and doing this nervous system healing like you've been doing, allowing this transformation on a deep cellular level to occur so that you can uncover a deeper level of intuition and this relationship with yourself. I'm getting kind of this Leo energy, the solar plexus, that ability to listen to your gut and hear yourself. And as you shift your identity and you really step into your confidence, maybe in a way that you've never done before, and you really learn to trust yourself, this is going to equate to you trusting in your instincts and being able and actually feeling good about it. Being able and feeling good listening to yourself. And maybe we've been in situations in the past where our ideas and our perspectives and the way that we would see the world and the way that we decided we wanted to show up and create, maybe that wasn't valued by the people around us. Maybe we had a different way of doing things, a new way of seeing things, a better solution. And it doesn't have to be like the objective truth that will apply to everybody. We can just have a solution that's better for us. You know, there's like 8 billion different ways to do life on Earth. There's more, you know what I mean? It's infinite. We're all doing things our own way. And there might be a way of doing things that works better for you. And potentially in the past, we've had people telling us, no, that's not the right way to do things. That's not the best way to do things. You feel good about this? Sorry, that's not how we do things here. We do things this way. And I think you're really breaking out of that. You're learning to tap into your own unique needs, perspective, processes, your own way of doing things. And I feel like you're healing because this can create like shame. And if we've gone through these experiences before we had that healthy relationship with ourselves and before we had this sense of confidence, it can create this weird sense of shame and guilt. Even like, well, especially if it happened early in childhood. Because we start to tell ourselves this new story. Okay, like, there's something wrong with me. I don't do things the right way. I don't do things like everybody else. Like, what's wrong with me? It can create this sense of, like, self-loathing. And I think you're healing that. And through healing this, you're actually going to feel a lot happier listening to yourself and spending time with yourself. Listening to that inner voice. Tinnitus might be significant for some of you. Like, actually just spending that time with yourself and acknowledging what that inner voice wants to tell you and creating that stronger connection with your higher self. Guys, that's so medicinal and that's so healing. And I feel like many of us are kind of learning how to do that right now. And what you're going to find, here's the thing, here's what I'm getting in a big way. As you tap into your own unique way of doing things, which works for you and might not necessarily work for other people, but that's okay. As you tap into that, you're going to find that you have a much better relationship with your external reality and life, and your creative abilities are really going to open up. And I'm talking about your ability to manifest your ideal life and create circumstances that really serve your highest good. As you feel more comfortable listening to yourself and tapping into your true identity, you're going to notice that this sense of cause and effect that happens in life when we take action and we show up as the creator and we understand that we're creating our own circumstances in life, there's going to be this flow here. There's going to be more coherence between your internal self and your external reality, because you're doing life in the way that you want to do life, in the way that your spirit wants to do life, in the way that your spirit came here to do life. This reading is turning into all about trusting yourself. And again, this idea of life is a process. We're moving through a change right now, a big change, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's happening on a deep cellular level. And what we need to do in order to navigate this change is really learn to trust ourselves and understand that everyone has their own way of doing things. And it's okay to do things your own way. And as you start to develop this stronger sense of coherence between your inner state and your outer world, you're going to feel a lot more safe moving forward, going with that flow, applying yourself in the way that you want to apply yourself, taking action in the way that you want to take action, in a way that feels good, in a way that feels right, in a way that feels like it's getting results. And I feel like this Nine of Cups underneath the Justice card is like a little bit of advice here. Creating and cultivating that sense of emotional fulfillment, safety, stability, in knowing that you are who you are for a reason. You love yourself, you're worthy of love, you're worthy of getting support, and you're worthy of making that choice to do life your own way. You're worthy of making your own decisions, deciding that I'm going to create reality in the way that I see fit. This is my life now. This is my life. And it's not for anybody else to tell me what my life should look like. And guys, I'm telling you, this is where the real freedom lies with this Star card, right? And there's a message here about as you move through this process and you feel more safe, just being in your own energy and being yourself and understanding that you're not here to be like other people. As you move through this process at a nice pace that feels good for you, you're going to find that it's a lot easier to stop censoring yourself and covering yourself up and be really nice to yourself. You don't have to force this to happen. You don't have to listen to a reading. You don't have to listen to me and then say, oh, like I need to push and strive to get better at being seen. This is your own process, and this is about making yourself feel really good and safe and creating that sense of comfortability as you ease into sometimes more uncomfortable situations, more expanded situations, because slowly and healthily and surely you are creating a bigger vessel. You're going to have more capacity to hold these new experiences, and you're going to feel a lot more comfortable making the choice to move in this direction. And it's all happening organically, like the lotus flower. It's unfolding. I've been getting the snail synchronicities everywhere too. I've been seeing snails everywhere. Shout outs to snails all over the world. They just keep chugging along. And they're not looking at the snail over there going, oh, I need to move a little bit quicker. Or, you know what I mean? It's even better. It's like, they're not looking at like the other bugs who move really quickly and going like, oh, I better speed things up, right? Some of us are in this snail arc of our life. And that's totally okay. I've been saying like the turtle synchronicities have been coming up slow and steady. wins the race, right? It's not even a race. It's like, which is a whole other thing. I get the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups below that as well, below the star. So, big message about the intuition and tapping into that emotional self and those feelings and what your feelings want to tell you. Guys, you're healing in a big way. You're transforming on a cellular level here. It's major. Keep being so nice to yourself. Just giving yourself so much grace here because you're doing amazing, really. Like, there's just been this insane amount of progression. If you look back to 1 year ago, you know, like, you the same person? No way. Like, but those changes over the past year were happening incrementally. Like, there was these little minute changes that have added up to this new version of self that you're experiencing now. And this is just going to keep happening for you. As you take the pressure off, relax into it. Just keep being really, really nice to yourself. And I get the sand shrew coming out. Interesting. What's on the bottom of the deck? The polywag. Okay. So this is a good message here. Because sometimes when we emotionally react and we get caught up in the emotions and we can like spiral a little bit, we don't act in a way that is in accordance with our higher self, and we don't act in the way that we want to act. I mean, I'm sure we can all relate to this. Like, we start, you know, emotionally reacting to something that is not ideal, and we take an action that later on we don't feel good about. And we know that that's not really me. That wasn't me acting just then. That was a part of me that I'm trying to shed, that I'm trying to let go of. So as you lean into this nice, healthy pace, which comes from self-acceptance and unconditional love, as you lean more into this pace, what you're going to find is that there will be less of this hypnotic effect when it comes to the emotions, and you will be able to just observe them more clearly instead of letting the emotions take over your whole system and then taking that action right away. As you slow down and just zoom out and even just walk away or take a pause, or if you feel that need to emotionally react, just take that pause. Don't necessarily suppress, but try and bring yourself back to center. Tap into that sense of mindfulness. Don't act right away. And just ponder and dig in like this sand shrew. Dig into the issue and just sit with the emotions. Let them flow. Let them flow through you. Come back to the breath and just center yourself. Just be with yourself and just love yourself in that moment. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see things really clearly, and you're going to take action like this sand shrew, this ground type Pokemon, right? Related to the Pentacles. You're going to start to take action in a way that is much more desirable. And you won't be emotionally reacting as much. You will fully feel like you are in your power, and you'll be able to make the decision that this external thing that has triggered me, this event, right? It's not me. It does not define me. Yes, it's not desirable, but I'm choosing, as the creator of my reality, to create a different circumstance for myself. Don't emotionally react to the event, because then you're giving it charge and you're making it solid. You're making it a real thing. You're identifying with that situation. Because if you were completely detached and you didn't identify with that event, there would be no emotional reaction. You would just be able to look at it and say, oh, that's a thing. That's a thing that's not me. So moving on, right? And again, be really nice to yourself, because we're all going through this. I'm going through this every day, right? Don't think I've got it all together. All right, we're all out here just doing our best, moving through this process. But what's happening right now, I guarantee you guys, you are transforming in a big way, in a healthy way, in a way that is going to serve you and allow you to create the reality that you really want to experience, guys. It's happening for you. You're doing it. And I'm so, so proud of you guys. You're doing amazing. Keep going. Keep it up. Let's go. And with that being said, I might just leave it there. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful, safe, sensual, magical, magnificent space with me. And I absolutely cannot wait to do it all again in the next reading. Love you guys so, so much. Bye-bye.